Okay, so let's look at how the X-Fader actually works. So we have 10 fixtures here. Let's give them a color of red and record it into this queue list. Let's give them a color of blue and record in this queue list, pandas new queue. And let's give them green, record in here. So let's go into the fader settings in here and say that, well, at first let's look at this. So we have tracking enabled, etc, etc, etc. In the queue list itself we have an in-fade time of 1 second, right? So let's have a look at the fader settings themselves. So we take X-Fade, not in-fade, X-Fade, okay. Let's go to Magic Sheets here so we can see it better. Well, now as I move my fader up, it crossfades gradually between the cues that I programmed, right? If I change the fade time to 0, it will not crossfade anymore, but it will snap. So this is because we do have a feature that spreads all timings inside a queue list, and it takes the highest timing it can find and takes this as a 100%. So when the fader is at 100%, the highest value is at, well, the highest fade time value will be taken as these 100%, whereas the lowest is 0. So at the end, what it does, it is calculates a multiplier for the individual fade timings. So if you multiply 0, like the fade timing of 0, with any multiplier, it will always return 0. Reason why this is kind of interesting is if we go in here again and we kind of do our same example in programming and we set it to red, but we go to CMY timing and we do a delay time for all of them of 0 through, now let's do 1 through 10, so it's 10 fixtures. So you see first fixture is 1, the others are then from then on kind of staggered after this. So now we have a delay timing recorded in this queue. We go to the color picker again and we pick our second color. We go back to CMY, our timings are still there. We record it in here and we set this fader up as a X-Fade fader. You will see that it actually spreads all the timings in the queue list with the fader movement. And what you will also see is that even though there's a 1 second fade time set in this queue list, the fade time will appear quicker because now it is taking the factor of all the timings into account. That's what I mentioned before. So right now the fader is at 100%. It takes 10 seconds, which is the longest delay time, as a value of 100%, actually 11 seconds because we have 1 second queue fade time as well, but let's just take it at 10. So fader value of 100% is equal to a time of 10 seconds. So that means when I move the fader 10%, you see there's not much going on there because, as I said, it's actually 11. But as soon as I move the fader more up, you see that the fade time is now also relative to the complete queue timing. And that is something that a lot of other consoles don't do, but we do, because I personally believe that this is a good approach for a lot of situations. To control brightness over left, right, edges of stages or other situations that I've previously had to do on MA consoles too, and there was no easy way to do that, and it always kind of ended up in some do-it-yourself solution. So hope you enjoyed this explanation, and I hope it's a bit more clear how the X-Fade on the Chimp works.